Hey, hey. All right. Look at me. My YouTube channel. My YouTube. My camera on my computer. But my camera on Instagram looks awesome. Cool. Amazing. YouTube. It's my computer. I gotta get it together. Um, Let me get some stuff on. Hey y'all. How y'all doing today? Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so hello everyone. Hello everyone on Instagram. Hello everyone on YouTube, Black Girl Abroad. And we are back for hello everyone on YouTube, Black Girl Abroad. And we are back for part two of our book club. And the book that we are reading is called You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen. And so we talked about in part one, boo, okay, come on through. You better, when y'all test anyway. Hey, Dollface, y'all, that is Taria. You're gonna meet her really soon in a podcast episode that I did about expat friends, right? And I have a visitor, so hold on just a second. That's so rude. And y'all hear how rude she is still to this day. Hello, how are you today? Hey, you coming with me to the store? No, ma'am, because I'm conducting a virtual book club right now. Do you want to say hello? Like, hey, y'all, so y'all want to know who this is? Ringing my door all loud. Say hello to YouTube. Yeah. And say hello to Instagram. Hey, great, Angie. Yeah, she's so rude. Hey, what you getting at the store? You really mean the whole where to know my grocery list? Mm-hmm. If you're getting bell pepper, can you give me like a pack of four with the colorful bell pepper and a red onion and a white onion? Ah, she rude. I know, right? She rude. Anywho, oh hey Booski, I didn't see you on here. Hey. So anywho, y'all, getting into the book. I'm sorry, she rude like that. We call ourselves roommates, and we have a townhome because she lives downstairs and I live upstairs. Yeah. Anywho, but so in talking about the book, last time we met, we talked about part one of the book. And in part one, let me go to it so I won't paraphrase. Part one was talking about how did you get this way? Okay. And the hood version of it all is how are you so fucked up? Right? Because that's basically what she was trying to say. Why you fucked up? Like for real. Like why are you so messed up the way that you are messed up? Like, can someone explain it to me? And she explained it with 5 chapters on why you were so messed up, right? She talked about how things was being filtered into your subconscious that was being brought out to your conscious. She talked about God and how maybe there's a lack of a spiritual influence because the truth of the matter is no matter what your religion is, no matter what you believe in, if you don't have a spiritual or higher power that you believe in, there's no way that you are absolutely growing. And then she talked about living in the moment. She talked about putting our egos in check. Because a lot of times our ego will stop us from doing things that might be great for us, but it's there to protect us. It's called an ego for a reason. Like Beyonce says, she got a big ego and it's fragile and you want to protect it. And then also, chapter 5, when I finally get to it, talk about self-perception and how a lot of times we perceive things to be worse than what they really are. So before I continue and get into the new part, which is part 2, How to embrace your inner badass. Okay, and I really love this section of the book. I really dived into it because listen, all of us out there trying to tap into our inner badass, all of us out there trying to, just become these awesome beings of spirits and energy. And the only way we can do that is by getting rid of the bullshit and stepping into our greatness, our badassiness. Okay? So before we get started, let me tell y'all how I am. I am a teacher at heart, fully and truly. Okay, I do not just like to talk. Yes, it's a virtual book club, but that's why you have comment sections. Okay, so YouTube, you have a comment section to the right of your computer screen. You can easily type up a message. I can clearly read it, and we can respond and have dialogue that way. Instagram, you have comment section. Clearly, all of y'all know how to use it because you've already been leaving comments, right? So, again, if it's something that is, you know, speaking to your soul, your spirit, you have to comment on it. Look at this as a safe forum for you to just express yourself, especially because on Instagram, the video only gonna last for 24 hours, duh. And on YouTube, the video's gonna be up forever. But the point is, just take this time to really express yourself. Also, as always, I have my tea. Okay, because listen, it is so good today. Honey, baby, Miss Sine left. She went to the store. Okay, so I'll let her know you asked about her. But for right now, we're gonna talk about chapters 6 through 9 in part 2. So chapter 6 talking about love the one you is. Okay, and we're gonna dive into that, what that means. As you can see, I'm ready, y'all. Today I got my notes. First of all, let me take the time to apologize to y'all yesterday. Really and truly, I truly in my mind thought I was gonna be back home before 8 o'clock my time, right? But the tour we went on, we went to the House of Mirror, which is a beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. Went to the House of Mirror, and it took way longer than we thought. Very nice home, but it was just a lot to take in. And I didn't want to rush her. I didn't want to feel rushed. So we stayed and indulged in the moment. Then, of course, afterwards, we had to go get something to eat. So it is what it is. But that's the good thing about me being polychronic because I feel like time is endless. So I knew that I could come on here today, and if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, you're going to catch it again later. Like, it's cool. It's all love. So, anywho, chapter 7 talked about I know you are, but what am I? That was a really good chapter. Really, really, really good chapter. Chapter 8 talked about what are you doing here? And in chapter 9, she talked about the loincloth man, and we're going to talk about what that is. So, first of all, jumping into chapter 6, let me start off by reading the quote. And the quote says, if we really love ourselves, everything in our life works. Louise Hay, author, publisher, the godmother of self-help, who was doing it way back when it wasn't cool. So notice in this quote she says, if we really love ourselves, everything in our life works. What does that particularly mean? That means that until you are loving and respecting yourself wholeheartedly, nothing in your life is going to come into fruition. What I mean by that is, for example, when I was in my early 20s, okay, really, when I was in my teens and my 20s, okay, my early 20s, I was in a relationship with a man, okay, that I met in college. And in that relationship, first of all, let me give you the background story. I just got out of a relationship. So went into college, just getting out of a relationship, jumping into another relationship, right? And I didn't know the definition of love. I didn't know what love was. I didn't know like what it meant to really love myself. Because again, I'm just hopping from person to person to person to person. So in that relationship, it was awful. It was awful. I feel like I'm over it now, so I can really, really talk about it. But in that relationship, it was a lot of abuse. It was a lot of verbal abuse. It was a lot of emotional abuse. It was a lot of just mental anguish. And then from there, it turned physical. It was a lot of cheating. It was just stuff that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Because the truth of the matter is, because I did not love myself, because I did not find myself to be worthy of the type of love I wanted in my life, but I wasn't requiring that from him, nothing else in my life worked out. Nothing else. And so a lot of times we limit ourselves. So in this chapter, Love the One You Is, she talks about how when we're born, we have an instinctive understanding of some of the most important basic basis of life that includes and goes way beyond bending our knees. You're born knowing how to trust our instincts. And she says how to breathe deeply. We're born knowing how to eat when we're hungry, how to not care about what anyone thinks of our singing voices, dance moves, or hairdos. We know how to play, create, and love without holding back. So why is it that, and I said this the other day, I said that how I truly admire kids because kids will go out and just do the most craziest things, like the stupidest things ever, and will have absolutely no fear of what they're doing. And as an adult, we can all remember being like that as a child. As a child, you had no fear. You went out, you did what you had to do. You went and played in the streets. You played with stuff your mama told you not to do. You stuck a fork in the socket just to see if you would really get shot. Like you did crazy ass shit. All because you was not fearless. But then when you grow older, you start becoming more fearful. Why is that? And so it says that some people invest in believing they're too old to go out clubbing when in fact they really do love to boogie. Some invest in being tough and too cool for school when they really want love and connection. Some invest in being ashamed of their sexuality instead of being their glorious gay selves. And what she's basically saying is until you start to really love who you are, whatever that is, nothing else in your life will fall into place. I know it was a time when I can even talk about that relationship again. And in that relationship, I was at my heaviest weight ever in life. Like ever in life. I believe I was well over 300 pounds in that relationship. Just because of whew, I was a stress eater, I was an emotional eater, and I was an emotional drinker. So alcohol was my best friend. Food was my best friend. I felt like I couldn't talk to my friends because my friends would be on there. I told you so shit. I didn't want to hear that. And so yeah, it was just a lot going on that I internally took it out on gluttony and food and things like that. And so basically from that point, now not only do I have a man who don't love me, nor do I require him to respect me, but now I'm gaining weight. So now that what is that doing? That's bringing down my confidence even more. Okay. So when we look at this, we have to tell ourselves, are we truly loving ourselves for who we are? Are we ready to love ourselves? And that's a good question in itself. A lot of us are ready. Hi, my friend. A lot of us are ready to be in a relationship with someone, but being in a relationship takes trust. If you don't trust yourself, how are you going to trust that other person? If you don't love yourself, how are you going to openly and willingly love that other person? I know with my boo that I have on now, is he still on here? I don't know. But I know with my boo that I have now, I was ready for a relationship. Like when I met him, I was ready for a relationship. I didn't know that him and I was gonna turn into something serious. But I know when I met him, I was ready for love. I because one, I truly, of course you are. That's what you do. You're my booski. He said, "Oh, you too. You can't see what's going on." He said he's still here because that's what he do, y'all. He just yeah. So anywho, so when I met him, I was ready for love. And I had learned to really love myself. Let me tell y'all ways I learned to really love myself. This is going outside of what the book is talking about, but it all fits in. Ways I learned to love myself was one, when I became single, because mind you, I was with that person for 7 years, 7 long, drawn out, wasteful years. They're not wasteful because it taught me a lesson. But after him and I split and part ways and was completely done and all that kind of stuff, I started treating myself how I want my future man to treat me. So, for example, I started taking myself on dates. I would go to the movies by myself and all that kind of stuff. I would take myself out to eat. I would buy myself gifts. Like, you have to treat you how you want somebody else to be treated. That's the whole definition of the golden rule. Treating others the way you want to be treated. So guess what? I knew how I wanted others to treat me, so I treated myself like that. So if I knew I wanted my boyfriend to take me out, I was taking myself out because again, the imagination don't know if you're faking it or not, if it's you doing it or someone else doing it. So do it for yourself. And once you start really paying attention to yourself and really start loving yourself fully, guess what? And then I met a man who was doing all those things for me. So it's just the way it worked out. Also, on top of that, are you telling yourself you love yourself? I know it sounds weird, but are you telling yourself that you love yourself? Are you saying to yourself, Laquisha, I love you. I use Jerome. Jerome, I love you. Are you telling yourself you love yourself? There's nothing wrong with telling yourself that. It really isn't. And I think a lot of times we look for that validation in others when really we should be investing in ourselves. Which leads me to the next part of what she talks about. When she says start investing in what's true for us, that we start to live rich, full, authentic lives. We invest everything we've got into believing that we're not good enough. Why is that? We criticize ourselves, we overjudge ourselves, we show so much resentment towards ourselves. How many of you, by just comments or whatever the case may be, you have done something wrong maybe 5, 6 years ago and you still hold on to that? Like you still like, I know I do. I know it's some stuff I did in my past. And I'm like, sometimes when I'm just really sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh shit, like it's gonna catch up with me, And really and truly, we shouldn't be thinking like that. We shouldn't hold on to that resentment, that criticism. You know, we should start having more gratitude for our life and compassion and understanding that we have grown from that person that we once was. We're now growing to something better. And that's what she talks about too. What she says, the simplest yet most powerful thing ever flies right out the window when we start taking in outside information. When you're happy and all in love with yourself, we can't bother with the bullshit of other people. Let me repeat that one more time. When you're happy, YouTube, when you're in love, Instagram, with yourself, you can't be bothered with the bullshit of other people. And I'm not making this up. This is really what it says right here. Okay? And think about it. That makes sense. When you really start loving yourself and putting yourself first and making yourself a priority, that doesn't make you selfish. And I have friends who think like that, who think, oh, I'm selfish if I take time for me. And that doesn't make you selfish. It does not make you selfish. Thank you for liking and agreeing. It does not make you selfish if you take time for yourself. You self-care is real, y'all. Like, for example, my habit of self-care that I have to do, I have to get my hair done. Hands down. Hands down. I have to get my hair done. My boyfriend knows. He's on here. He'll tell you. If my hair is not done, it's just shut down for me. It's like it's shut down. I'm like over it. Like I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like I have to have my hair done. Nails, I can go without. Makeup, I can go without. A new outfit, I can go without. Look here, talking about so true. But my hair, if my hair is not done, oh yeah, that's game on. Like I'm over it. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to leave out the house. I don't want to. I don't want to do none of it. Like I'm a crab for real. I'm my zodiac sign for real. Like I go into my little shell. So the theme throughout part 2 in her book, what I like is that she talks about how to start getting back in touch with yourself. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. She talks about how to start getting back in touch with yourself, She talks about how to start loving yourself, and she give out tips. The first thing she says on how to start back loving yourself if you don't already. This is if you don't already. If you do love yourself, you can maintain loving yourself with these things. The first thing is appreciate how special you are. Appreciate how special you are. I wish I knew what y'all was saying. I cannot read Arabic. I'm sorry. Um, so it says there will never be anyone exactly like you. Everyone, I'm sorry, y'all. Thank you. It says that everybody has special gifts and talents. Nobody will use theirs quite the same as you do. You are a big deal. And I took the information, the best information from that portion. And this is what I want to tell y'all. The other day on my Instagram, I posted about be you because someone else is already taken. That is so true. Like, truly be who you are. I don't care what nobody else is doing. I have a friend right now who's like, oh, I want to do a podcast, but I don't want to do a podcast because you're doing a podcast. Girl, what the hell my podcast got to do with your podcast? It don't have nothing to do with yours. What's meant for you will be for you, point blank, period. My podcast is about my life abroad. Your podcast is going to be about something totally different. It's okay. And then on top of that, not only do you have a podcast, but think about all the different things in the world: makeup, perfume, shoes, clothes. I am not in the hood, okay? Shoes, clothes, food. Think about all the different brands that we have in those different items and products. What if people just gave up? And what if there was only one thing for everything in the world? That would be boring. Okay, I said this last time. MAC, L'Oreal, Givenchy, whatever, all that stuff. Fenty Beauty, whatever, all that stuff. It's okay to put your product out in an oversaturated market. Why? Because no one is like you. No one is making those products with the love and the passion and the care and the concern that you have. Point blank, period. So therefore, if you're sitting up here saying, oh, I don't want to do this because my friends do this. So your friend is not you. Your friend is not you. And I'm pretty sure the spin that you're gonna put on stuff is gonna be totally different than how your friends do things. For example, me and my friends, let me get some of this tea because y'all have been talking too much. And y'all are commenting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I cannot read Arabic. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I should probably take a class. I really should. So this is what I mean when I say it's okay for you to do stuff that other people are doing. For example, me and my friends love to cook. Okay? Love to cook. My friend, on the other hand, shout out to Cynthia, her cooking is more of a like Southern mama. She likes to really like whip it up in the kitchen, do it big, all that kind of stuff. Me, on the other hand, I'm more of an Pinterest and let me Google a recipe type of chick. That's the type of cook I am. Doesn't mean my food is nasty, her food is nasty, my food is good, her food is good. It's two different acquired tastes. And that's basically what she's trying to say when she said that you are a special person. You have a different and acquired taste that maybe 10 million people might like. The other 30 million, whatever. But if you're reaching out to them 10 million, you're doing your job. The second thing she says in how to love yourself again is to drown yourself in affirmations. And the reason why she said it is because affirmations rewire your brain and train you to think differently. And I will say this for a fact. Affirmations work. Okay? Affirmations are the real deal. Every morning I get up, I tell myself an affirmation. I read an affirmation. Thank you, honey. I read affirmations. I have a quote of the day come through on my phone. I have affirmations come through about money. I have affirmations come through about life because those work and they really do help you to train your brain to think better. Not only about yourself, but about your situation. And also, I wrote down some affirmations in this book. So if I were you, okay, I will start writing down my affirmations that I want to see manifest into my life. For example, she says, write down your favorite affirmations 10 times every morning and 10 times every night before you go to bed and say them out loud. Practice putting them into manifestation. For example, some of the affirmations she uses are I am one with the universe is awesome, and so am I. My heart is open, love pours in and out. I receive all the good that life has to offer. I am a change agent. She says, and yes, at the beginning, it do feel like you're lying to yourself because I tell myself all the time I'm rich. I tell myself that all the time I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. And I'm lying, clearly. I'm very, very much so lying. But look at what it says. But the truth is, you're living the lie. So right now, I'm living a lie thinking, okay, I'm poor and this and that. But the affirmation is helping me to understand the truth that I am living a rich life. The third thing she says to do to fall back in love with yourself is to do things you love. This is what I tell my friends all the time. Like, girl, leave work at work. Okay, leave work at work. Like they like to come home, they like to do their work, they like to, and I get it. Okay, I was a teacher for 7 years, so I get it. But I guarantee you, like I said, with me being a polychronic, there's always time, always time. So it says, do things that you love. It says, we're all busy, but it's the people who make enjoying their lives a priority who really enjoy their lives and live longer. And they make a conscious effort to increase joy in whatever capacity they're in. Something that really irks me about people is when they say, I don't have time. How? Houseway. How you don't have time? Because at the end of the day, we all make time for things we want. Just how you're right here looking at this live. That's something that you're making time to do. Or for example, how you have time to play Fortnite. hmm That's something that you're making time to do. Or for example, how you have time to, do your makeup in the morning, go to pray 5 times a day. Those are things that you're making time to do. You know why you're making time to do it? Because it's a priority to you. It's not something that you're lacking. Okay? Whereas with this, a lot of us, we put off stuff that we want to do because of what reason? We really don't want to do it. But if we start taking the time to really enjoy our life, okay, that's really all she's saying. You live longer, you're much happier, and you learn how to appreciate the moment. It says it's about being proactive about creating a life you love instead of meekly living the one you think you're stuck with. Give yourself the gift of a joyous life while you're still among the living. Also, if you're the kind of person who puts everyone else's needs first, start putting yours up front. You aren't a selfish person for taking care of yourself, just a happier one. That touched my soul. I told my friend that for her birthday. I was like, you're not selfish just because you want to put yourself first. The fourth thing you have to do is find a replacement. And what she mean by this is we become so, what's the word I'm looking for? We become so rigid in our thought process. For example, it's very easy to think negatively. It's very easy to be a mean person. It's very easy to be a person that go around talking about everybody. Why? Because it requires no effort from you. All of us in our heart, or all of us in our mind can say something about somebody and we can let that come out of our mouth and just not think nothing of it. When you have a filter, when you are compassionate, when you are, truly empathetic and care about what people think, you're going to put effort behind the things you say and the things you do. Point blank, period. And that's just the bottom line. So every day for me, it takes a lot for me not to just say what really is in my head. It really, 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 really do. Because it's a lot of times I just want to go off on people. But the person that I'm trying to become and the person that I'm growing into this lifestyle, I think about the stuff that I want to say. Because one, I know I can't take back my words once they leave my mouth. Two, I can't take back my actions once I have done them. So therefore, I always am conscious of what I'm saying to people, and I'm always conscious of how I'm making them feel and what I'm doing to them. Because those are things you can never take back. The great Maya Angelou once said that a person might forget what you wore, they might forget how you look, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And my job every day is to make people feel like they are important, like they matter, and like they are somebody. And if you are on this live right now and you have not been doing that, I suggest you do. Y'all, and this is totally going off script, okay? Because I only have 30 minutes left to be on this live. But let me help you understand something. Really and truly, our words catch up with us. And you really don't understand. Whenever you are making fun of somebody, that comes back on you 10 times fold. Straight up, real talk, no lie. That comes back on you 10 times fold. Because think about it. While you pointing one finger at somebody, one, two, three, four are pointing back at you. So you calling that person ugly when really you think that about yourself. You calling that person stupid when really you're thinking that about yourself. You calling that person names when really and truly you think that about yourself. So again, we only love people as much as we love ourselves. If we don't love ourselves, we're not really loving other people. And I'm just going, thank you. I'm just going to get off my soapbox because I can go on and on and on and on and on. So that's why, honestly, y'all, I make it a point every day to treat others with respect. Albert Einstein once said, I treat everyone the same, from the janitor to the president of a university. And that's the same mentality I have. I treat everyone the same, everyone with respect. Because at the end of the day, because I live my life in love and respect, it comes back on me. No matter what, it comes back to me. So, anywho, number five, how to start back loving yourself. Ditch the depreciating humor, meaning stop making fun of yourself and stop allowing other people to make fun of you. When I was younger, I used to get made fun of for my lips. I used to get called big lips all the time. I used to get called soup coolers. I used to get called all that shit, right? And I would try to beat people to the punch. Like I would try to beat people to talking about me. I would talk about myself before they would talk about me. But really, what I'm learning and reading this book is that that is not healthy. That is not what you should do. Do not downgrade yourself to make others laugh. Okay, it's okay some of the time if you just tell a little joke and be like, oh, ha ha ha, blah 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 blah, whatever. But you're not down talking yourself and just making yourself the butt of every joke to keep people laughing, to keep people doing this, doing that. No, that's not okay. Let the love in. I had to learn this because it says receive compliments gracefully instead of countering with a disclaimer. For example, when I first moved to Kuwait, okay, let me stop saying it. Back home, I had a lot of people tell me I was pretty. But for some reason, when I move, for some reason, whenever I go places abroad, whether it's Dominican Republic, whether it's Jamaica, wherever, whenever I go places abroad, it's always heightened, like, oh my God, you're just so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. So when I first got to Kuwait, that's all I kept hearing. I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? Like, and I didn't know how to take that. But in the book, she talks about how, thank you, she talks about how you need to openly and gracefully accept compliments from people. She said, we need our bodies more than they need us. Say something nice to your body, dress it up, take it out. The better we feel about our bodies, the happier and more productive we are. So when people are complimenting you, it's up there. Don't just say, oh girl, I need to lose 10 pounds before I can be cute. Oh girl, I need to do this, I need to do that. No, except for who you are. Except for who you are. I accept my big lips and all. Like I love me, my big nose, whatever. I love me. Okay, because it took me a long time to love me. So I truly, truly, truly love and care for the person I am. Number 7. Oh, I had to learn this, y'all. Oh my God. Don't compare yourself to others. Listen to what she says. She says comparison is the fastest way to take all the fun out of your life. Let me repeat that. Don't compare yourself to others. Comparison is the fastest way to take all the fun out of your life. Let me tell you, y'all, a long time ago, I used to stalk this girl on Facebook. Okay? I'm just being so honest with y'all. That was like at least 5 years ago. Like I used to stalk this girl on Facebook because I was like, damn, I want her life. Like she is so bomb. This girl is getting married. This girl got, the big house. She going on trips. She doing this. She doing that. And y'all know what happened when I started comparing my life to hers? I was like, oh, I ain't done shit in my life. I haven't done nothing. I was looking down on my life and stealing the joy out of my life when really and truly I've had some amazing experiences over the years, that I've been on earth, okay? And I was taking that away from me, comparing it to her life, all because I wasn't where she was 5 years ago. And the thing is, guys, when we compare ourselves to others, you are absolutely correct. We should always appreciate what we have because you don't never know what somebody else went through to get the things they have. It was so many people who used to be jealous of Michael Jackson and his career when really you didn't know what Michael went through. Michael was beat. Okay, Michael Jackson used to get whoopings. He used to get disrespected. He went through a lot to be the star and the icon we know him to be. And so many people used to be jealous of that. So again, stop comparing yourself to others. I had to learn this. And I love what Jen says on page 61. She says, it's none of your business what other people are doing. It's absolutely none of your business what other people are doing. Right. Much respect. Thank you. All that matters is that you're enjoying yourself and you are pleased with what you're creating. You are more than enough. Avoid comparison like the plague. Okay. So please, y'all, if you are out there comparing yourself to others, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's really, really not. Hey, Miss Monique. Oh, there go my best friend. Hey. Hi, girl. And last but not least, in chapter 6, she talks about how you need to forgive yourself. And this is what I was talking about earlier, how a lot of times we do things in the past and we feel so bad about it. We feel so, so bad about it. When really we should be forgiving ourselves. Okay? And the thing is, why do we need to forgive ourselves? Because it says every human is born with the ability to make mistakes. I need y'all to understand that mistakes will happen. That's a part of life. That's a part of your journey. That's a part of your growth. First of all, if you already knew how to do everything, what's the point? No, like seriously, somebody comment, what's the point? If you already knew how to motivate yourself and get through life, what would be the point of living? It wouldn't be. It wouldn't. Point blank period. It wouldn't. Life would be so boring if we knew how to do everything already. Like really and truly. If we already knew how to do everything already, like what am I looking forward to in my life? Nothing. Nothing. I truly, truly appreciate my 20s because my 20s taught me a lot for now at the age I am. And I truly appreciate when I was a teenager because when I was a teenager, it taught me a lot about my 20s. When I was young, I used to grow up and be like, well, when I was like a little kid, I used to always say, oh, I can't wait to be an adult. Can't wait to be an adult. Oh, I can't wait to be grown. I can't wait to be an adult. And the truth of the matter was, when I became an adult, like I said, in my 20s, I was like, this ain't what's up. Like, nah, I want to be back a kid. But you can't. You cannot be a kid again. Like, you have to grow the hell up. For real, for real. And that's just what I did. I grew up. I learned, I matured, I progressed. And now at the age that I am at, I'm not going to express that to y'all because I know y'all thought I was going to slip up, and I'm not. But at the age that I'm at, I appreciate all those life lessons. Because had I not went through an abusive relationship, I wouldn't know what a good one looks like. Had I not went through, thank you. Had I not went through situations with my mom, situations with my dad, I wouldn't know what to look for when it comes time for me to be a parent. Had I not went through things with friends in the past, I wouldn't know what a good friend looks like now. Like everything in life happens for a particular reason. That's right, girl. That on my girl. Yes. But mistakes are going to be made. It's no way humanly possible we are not going to live life and not make a mistake. Even when you're grown. Let me just put that out there. Because I don't want nobody thinking that, oh, my life is just so amazing now because I'm grown. No, stop the press, stop the pause. Even when I was grown, I still made mistakes. Even now, at this point in life, I still make mistakes. Let's be clear. I still make mistakes. But the difference is now I know how to handle those mistakes. For example, life is 10% of what happens. Okay? So 10% of what happens is I'm moving to Kuwait. 10% of what happens is I got in two car wrecks before I moved to Kuwait. 10% of what happens is, oh, this and that happened. My grandmother's house flooded, all that kind of stuff. But the other 90% of life is how you react to what happens. Okay? And I like what you're saying out how there's a but. There's always a but. 90% of life is how you react to things. So guess what? I got in two car wrecks before I moved out to Kuwait. Did I get mad? Did I get upset? Did I get angry? No. I was like, thank you, Lord, I'm alive. Thank you, Lord, I'm still here. And guess what? I'm going to handle it as it comes, and I'm going to go ahead and buy my business. I can't sit up here and say to myself, oh my God, I got in a car wreck, I do this, I do. Because it didn't already happen. It is what it is. It's nothing I can do about it. It happened. Okay. Now it's time to strap on the big girl pants and say, what am I gonna do about it? Point blank, period. Okay. So life is all about what you make of it, and not only what you make of it, how you react to things. Let's go to the instances I deal with in my job. Oh, this person is talking about me. This person don't want to be my friend. Okay. Instead of saying, well, I don't want to be their friend no more. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Blah 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 blah. What can you learn from this lesson? If that person is telling you I don't want to be your friend, guess what? I have other friends. Or guess what? You are already removing yourself from my life. That's me. That's you telling me you don't. I don't need to. I don't need you in my life. So therefore, I'm gonna move on with my life. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and you enjoy your life, love. Have a good one. Okay. What you say, Miss Place? I'm sorry. It is. It is. It's about how you react to situation. I really feel like God gives us stuff to see. Okay, how are you gonna react? Are you gonna react in a nice way, in a kind way, in a way where you're gonna grow from this and learn from this, or are you gonna react in a way where it's gonna always be something negative. It's gonna always you're gonna always find, yes, girl, I'm good, love, enjoy. Or you gonna always find a way to complain. I'm gonna be so honest with y'all. That is my pet peeve. I cannot stand people who see the bad in everything. How is there bad to everything? How? How, Sway? How is there bad to everything? It's not. Everything in your life is either meant to be a lesson or a test. Okay, point blank, period. So if you always seeing the bad in something, and that's something with you. There's something with you. I'm gonna need you to read this book for real about 3, 4 times after we read it, so that way you can know how to handle stuff better in your life. Cause life is not that bad. Believe me, I go to the graveyard and ask somebody. It's like that bad. Go ask them because I guarantee you they gonna say I will trade places with you in a minute if they could talk. So I want people to stop looking at the bad side to everything. Everything is not a bad. Everything is not a negative. It's not. Look at chapter 7. Chapter 7, she says, I know you are, but what am I? And this was like my favorite quote in this whole part 2. Part 2 says, I'm not offended by all the dumb blonde jokes because I know I'm not dumb. I'm also know I'm not blonde. And that is from the famous country singer Dolly Parton. That quote spoke volumes to me because a lot of times in life we're going to be called different things. Let's just be honest. Even as a grown, mature woman that I am, people still say stuff about me. And my response to that is one, I don't care, just being honest. Two, you're not paying my bills. And three, it has nothing to do with me. I tell people all the time if someone is saying something behind my back, clearly it has nothing to do with me. Why? Because they said it behind my back. Point blank, period. Or, for example, like the school I work at now. Okay? If people want to say something in a different language, that has nothing to do with me. Why? Because you're not speaking where I can understand. So guess what? It don't have. I'm not concerned. I'm not bothered. Point blank. Period. Point blank. Period. So look at what this says. It says, "Do not waste your precious time giving one single crap about what anyone else think of you. Other people's opinion motivate every move we make in our teens and in our 20s. That is so true. When you are a teenager, when you are in your 20s, you let other people determine how your life is going to be. Mm-mm. Nah, thank you, Lord. I'm out there. Ooh, thank you, Lord. I'm out of that stage of my life. And it says, and as we age, if we're moving in the right direction, our obsession with how we're perceived by others begin to trickle away, but very few of us are able to escape its pointless grasp completely. Meanwhile, we're only asking ourselves one question. Should you consider what others think when it comes to living your life? Should you consider what others think when it comes to living your life? Now, of course, as a child, yes, we have to we have to listen to our parents. Point blank period. However, as an adult, when you start to get older and when you start to think for yourself, you have to start living your life on your own. For example, three things she said you should ask yourself when it comes to determining your life. One, is this something I want to be, do, or have? Two, is this going to take me in the direction I want to go in life, not where should I go? Three, is this going to screw over anybody else in the process? And by screw over, I mean, is it going to enslave a population? Is it going to disapprove someone? Is it going to make someone miss their job or lose their job? A lot of times we don't think about the things we do to people because we're only worried about, oh, let me get revenge on this person. Oh, you did something to me, let me get revenge on them. But really and truly, are we thinking about how we're really affecting that person and their livelihood? Okay? If you don't feel like you're independent enough, guess what? You need to read this book. You need to read this book, honey. It's good. It's really, really good. It says nobody who ever accomplished anything big or new or worth raising a celebratory fist in the air did it from their comfort zone. So a lot of times we have to understand that we're comfortable. We're comfortable. We're comfortable getting in these different positions. But are we doing what's right? Are we doing what's right when we get in these positions? Now, in looking at this, I don't have time to read all this. I only got like 20 minutes, 10 minutes left. Okay. Oh, I do want to read this part. I do. So in talking about not taking people's advice or not taking people's advice, but in talking about helping you to understand your life better, she gives a really good example. She says two people can walk in the same movie, one person clinging to the wall, bloodshot and devastated, leaving in a trail of tissues, more moved by this film than any other film in history, while the other person goes marching up to the ticket counter and demands her money back because she thought it was the worst piece of garbage she ever seen on a screen. Why is that? Because life is all about perception. Life is all about perception. You had one person, okay, who thought the movie was great, moving, brought them to tears. You have another person who thought the movie was awful and they didn't want anything to do with it. Why is that? It was one movie but two different perceptions. And that's because that's how life is. Life is what you make it. You can either wake up one morning and decide, I'm going to look at the negative side to everything. Or you can wake up one morning and say, I'm going to find the lesson and the bright side to everything. Everything is not bad. Everything is not good. But I'm choosing to see the good in everything. Hi, how are you today? Okay, chapter 8 talks about what are you doing here? And the quote says the big question is whether you are going to be able to say a hearty yes to your adventure by Joseph Campbell. And in this chapter, she talks about the power of giving and how it feels better to give than it does to receive. And she says that when we give to people, we are aligning ourselves with a higher power and we are aligning ourselves with the full source by giving. And when she says giving, she's not saying give money. She's not saying give, time. She's saying give quality. She's saying give respect. She's saying give love. She's saying give positivity. When we give that to people, she says we are living a life on purpose. And a life on purpose is available to everyone. It says every single person is born with unique and valuable gifts to share with the world. And she says the ways that we do this is we got to keep our mind on what's right. Everyone's journey is unique. No one journey is the same. But we're all trying to get to the same place. And that place is feeling happy, being respectful, and being alive. And I don't know about y'all, but I am happy, I'm respectful, and thank you, Lord, I am alive. Thank you. Okay, I'm skipping through some stuff because I only have 7 minutes. So I like right here what she says when she says take the first step. A lot of times we go through life and we keep saying, well, I'm only going to do this when this happens, or I'm only going to do that when this happens, or I'm not going to do this until I get this, or I'm not going to do this until I do this. And we have to realize that the first step is making it happen. The first step is let me start doing what I need to do. Point blank, period. Let me start doing what's right. Let me start doing it right now. You're not going to get anywhere by constantly saying, well, when I start getting more money, then I'm going to give money. When I start getting more time, then I'm going to give time. No, you have to give those things right now. You have to give those things right now. Look at what it says. Instead of wasting hours and days and years trying to figure out your perfect next move, just do something already. It says you don't have to know exactly where it's going to take you. You just need to start with one thing that feels right and keep following right feeling things and see where it leads you. Most answers reveal themselves through doing, not thinking. And then she goes on to say, no matter how coolish you feel right now, pay attention to suggestions and opportunities that suddenly present themselves. Like I tell everyone, when I first got offered a job abroad, Kuwait was not on my radar. Just being honest, Kuwait was not on my radar. I really never knew anything about Kuwait. It took for me to see one of my friends in Kuwait, and she has been having a bomb time in Kuwait. Like she has been just living it up, traveling the world. You know, she is an elementary teacher, and her husband, I think, is like a coordinator or something like that. But it took for me seeing them living their lives to say, okay, let me do something because this is not the only place that I want to live. This is not the only place I want to stay abroad. But I need to get my feet wet. I need to put my foot in the door. And I could have sat at home and waited for the quote unquote right place to jump out at me and say, oh, we have a job for you. Or I could have took what was being offered to me. That's what she means when she says look out for those opportunities because you never know where those opportunities might take you. You never know where those opportunities might land you. And then she says, while you're in those opportunities, do your best. Everything we do along your journey contributes to where you're going. So having a good attitude and being grateful for all the things that are helping you live your life will not only make your life more pleasant to be to I'm sorry, will not only make your life more pleasant place to be, but it will also raise your frequency and attract the right people and opportunities to you. So again, thank you. Yes, girl, just get up and do it. Okay. And not only do it, but do it with a great attitude. Do it with a generous attitude. Do it with a highly attitude, a merry attitude. You don't want to be in a place where you're saying to yourself, okay, I accepted this job. For example, moving to Kuwait. Okay. So that's what this whole thing is about, Black Girl Abroad. Moving to Kuwait. Okay. I could have been like, got here and had the biggest attitude in the world because this wasn't my quote unquote first choice. When really and truly, when really and truly, I chose to be here. So because I chose to be here, I myself need to make the most of my situation and I need to do what I need to do. Point blank, period. Now, I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. I love being on Instagram. I love blogging my experience through YouTube. I love, talking about my experiences through my podcast. But the thing is, what if I would have came here with a negative attitude? What if I would have came here saying, well, this ain't Dubai. Well, this ain't, Nigeria. Well, this ain't Turkey. What if I would have came here with that type of attitude? Think of how limited my experiences would be. Think of how limited my time here would be. Because when you sit around in misery, when you waddle in misery, that's all you do. You don't have experiences. You don't have time. Oh my gosh, I'm down to 1 minute. Ah! Okay. Also in the book, she talks about how you need to follow your fantasies because in our mind, our imagination does not know, or well, our mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and what's real. So if you notice in the book, I wrote down what 17 things or 17 ways of how I want to live my life. And again, it's not saying that it's going to happen tomorrow, it's going to happen next week, next month, next year, but definitely, maybe not immediately, but definitely it will happen. Um, and the last chapter talked about the loincloth man and how the quote says, it is better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not. Let me repeat that. It is better to be hated for who you are and what you are than to be loved for who you are not. And that's why every day I tell y'all to live in love, live in positivity, and spread light. And that's all the time I have with y'all today. But in that chapter, she just talked about loving yourself, okay? But we will meet again next week. Read part 3, because part 3 is going to talk about how do you tap into the mother load of positivity and love and energy. And guys, if you want more information, please follow my podcast at Black Girl Abroad, my YouTube channel, my Instagram page. Soon we will have merchandise. So hey, all y'all Black Girl Abroads out there, y'all can support your stuff. Thank you, friend. And as always, y'all, live in love and positivity and light, and know that your girl here is gonna do the same. Peace from the Middle East, y'all. Bye.